Well, there is a new campaign underway to raise awareness and funds for more than 12,000 child abuse victims and their families. Here to share more about the Hope Yard Sign campaign is Irish Birch, the president and CEO of Dallas Children's Advocacy Center. Thank you, Ms. Birch, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's just get to the cause, right? Tell us about Dallas Children's Advocacy Center and what you all do.
Yes, the mission of our Advocacy Center is to provide healing services for the most severely abused children in Dallas County. And we do that by seeing children that have been sexually abused, severely physically abused, and that have been witnesses to violent crimes. The average child that we're going to see is a 14-year-old female girl that's been abused, sexually abused by someone she knows and trusts.
How do you even begin to serve kids who are going through some of the most awful things you can imagine?
That's a great question, and we do not do it alone. So at the Advocacy Center, we have a multidisciplinary approach where we work with law enforcement, child protective services, prosecution, CPS, and our pediatric medical providers to all come together to ensure we provide the wraparound investigation, prosecution, and healing services that these families so desperately need.
Ms. Birch, any trends that you guys are seeing right now?
I will tell you, what we know is 95% of the children are abused by someone that they know. What we also know is that 73% of those children are not going to tell in the first year. 45% of those children won't tell in the first 5 years, and some children never tell. So it's really critical why we as adults should all take action in making sure that we can take a stand for children and recognize those signs.
You know, the Dallas Children's Advocacy Center is launching a new campaign, Pinwheels of Hope. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so for those who don't know, the pinwheel is the national symbol for hope and healing for all child abuse victims. And so for us, this is a campaign that we launch in April and that will run all the way through, launch in March and run through April, Child Abuse Awareness Month. And it's our time to not only raise funds, but to raise awareness. It is the one way that the community can say for those 12,000 children and families that you mentioned, this is my way to say that I want to stand up for these children and these families, and I want to give back and I want to do something about it.
Here's the most important part. How do we get involved? How do we help?
Yes, so our Pinwheel campaign is sponsored by Co-America, and one of the ways that you can do is get involved by purchasing a yard sign. I have 3 of them in my yard. My husband thinks I've gone a little bit overboard, but what we would love to see is all around the Metroplex for someone to have these pinwheels in their yard. You can go to DCAC.org. As soon as you go to our website, the pop-up will give you all the information you need, and it's only $25.
You know, I can't let you get out of here without just saying thank you for the work you do. It is so important, and I think sometimes it's work that we don't always see. And so it can be tough for people to have that presence of mind, but that pinwheel just may help.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.